Hey, Miles here, milesbecko.com. In this email marketing video, you're going to learn exactly step-by-step how to broadcast an email to your email list. This is the ongoing kind of to-do of email marketing, and I'm going to show you over my shoulder on the computer exactly how to create it, send it, test it, and we'll talk a lot about the little intricacies within the copy itself. Now, if you want the theory behind what we're doing here, I covered the 6 components to successful email marketing in a previous video that will be linked down in the description. Also, if you're wanting to learn how to set up your follow-up sequence, because these broadcast emails go out after you do your follow-up sequence, the link to that video will also be in the description below. This is once you have a subscriber, they've gone through your follow-up, they're on your broadcast list or your broadcast segment, and you want to do your daily emails, your every other day emails, etc., to continue to build the relationship, to drive traffic, to ultimately generate some revenue. So we're going to jump on the computer now and get going. So I didn't rewrite or pre-write this in any way, shape, or form. I wanted to be kind of off the cuff so we could talk about it as we go. I'm sending an email to my current list, which is the DIY sales funnel video email. Now, I put together a DIY sales funnel video series. I've been growing an email list based on people who watch that series and go there, and I don't email that list enough. So the first thing is, what am I going to email them to? And I'm honestly going to have 2 separate locations that I'm going to send them to. You'll see how that rolls out, because I want to remind them that they can get my daily emails if they're not already. But ultimately, I have a video called the treasure map that I think is a great explanation of how to make money online. So I'm here on my channel, and I'm just going to search on my channel search bar the treasure map, and it's this video here is what I want to send them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link just so I have my link where I want to go. And I prefer personally to actually write everything and work everything inside of a notepad file. And the reason I like to use notepad file is sometimes inside of the editor, if you hit backspace when you're not in the typing editor, it can actually go back a screen and you can lose your work. You've probably been in a web-based field or form before, click something weird and all of a sudden you lose all your work. This is how I make sure I don't lose my work. And the first thing I'm going to do is type out my working subject line. As I type these things out, I'm going to speed up the video for you so you don't watch me slowly typing, and I'll come back in when I'm sharing what I did and why I did what I did. So my first topic on the subject line, I'm thinking I want to go curiosity. I'm going to use that treasure map idea, and I'm going to ask them a question. So let me get that down real quick. So in the subject line, I'm asking a question. Did you get? And then I've got your, so I'm talking directly to them using that second person talk to them. I match that conversation in their head. We talked about that in the previous video. And then the treasure map. It's like, what is this treasure map idea, right? That's kind of my curiosity at the end. And I'm even going to put the word free in here because free is one of those power words, one of those words that captures attention. And now I'm actually pretty stoked on that subject line. So from here, now I'm thinking about the user's experience, right? They're in their email box. They see that subject line of, did you get your free treasure map? They're like, huh, what's this? They click. Now I need to kind of answer that, right? They're curious. They're wondering what this is. Obviously, they want to get that free thing if they haven't got it yet. So I want to get in and get to the point as quickly as I can. And I want to get them the link to deliver on my promise, because I'm making a promise right here, right? I'm promising them that they can get a free treasure map, and I want to go deliver on that promise quickly so I don't lose them in the email. So I'm going to write out the first little bit here, and then I'll come back and share what I wrote and why I wrote it the way I did. And again, we're going to get into the actual email system and send this out too. So let me get this first piece of copy down. Okay, we're back. And now I've got the kind of shell or the basics of the email that I wrote. We're going to go through the copy real quick just to help make sure you understand what I did and why I did it, because there are some intricacies in here, mainly to make sure this email gets into their primary inbox. If you get some of these things wrong, you're going to go to the spam folder, you're going to go to the junk or the promotions tab, and your emails don't get read, which is a huge problem. So first thing is the subject. Did you get your free treasure map? Covered that. It's curiosity inducing. It offers something free. It's a benefit. It's a unique new idea. And I'm calling it their free treasure map. So they can already own that. They're going to want that. They're going to click. I feel like that's got a really good potential for an open rate. And then I share what it is. So a couple days ago, I published a powerful new video for you. Again, I'm telling them I made it for them. And I wanted to be sure they saw it, right? So it's this whole, did you miss that thing I made for you? I want to make sure you got that present I'm giving you, is the kind of theory behind that line. The video reveals the free treasure map to earning income online. So now I'm connecting the idea of a treasure map to that big goal that they have. They want to make money online, but you notice I didn't say make money online. That's a spam word. That's a spam trap word. And if you use phrases like make money, get rich, bunch of dollar signs, anything that's really, really closely related to literally making money, Google, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, all of the different mail servers are going to flag you as a spam mail, and that is a quick way for you to make sure you don't reach their potential inbox. So you notice I said earning income online. Now I'm going to test this, but that's one of those phrases, right? Like growing your profit is another way of saying that. You got to use creative phrasing in order to get your point across without saying those exact phrases that are spam words. How do I know what the phrases of spam words are? Well, I've been testing my emails, and I notice when emails go into my either promotions folder or spam box, there's always certain phrases, and I keep tweaking with them until they make it to the primary inbox. That's how I identify the phrases that don't work, and then you just kind of grow and adapt, and you learn by doing. So then I share, oftentimes the path to success is too confusing and it can overwhelm you. So I'm talking to their problem now, right? I've transitioned from that free thing. I'm reminding them that there's a problem, there's a challenge here, and I help them understand that this is a super short and fun explanation of how it works. I want to give them an aha moment. I give them an analogy. I'm turning the process of internet marketing into a board game, because that's kind of what I did in the video itself. They're going to learn this, that, the other, and then this one is much watch. Here is the URL. I'm going to let them know, remind them that they're going to have a big aha moment in this one for sure. Then I do this little kind of give myself a middle name. Pick that up from Andre Chaperone, actually. It's just something I like to do for fun. I like to mix that up sometimes to try to just add a little more personality to it, to help them realize I'm kind of a real person and I'm just a joking kid a little bit. And then I have a PS, a postscript. If you haven't been through my full free course yet, the 7 steps from side hustle to $1 million business blueprint, be sure you get it here now. And this call to action is because this is a separate list. I don't merge these people onto my main list. I do require them to kind of go opt in on the other list if they want to get my daily emails. And I want to remind them that there's more value if they're interested and they want more, and I'm showing them where to get it. So this is kind of the soft PS, and this is the main call to action here. So now that I've got this all roughed out, I'm pretty stoked on it. Let's actually jump into the email system and get this built. So in here in Aweber, the first thing you always do is you make sure that you've got the right list that you're mailing to set up on top, which I do. So I simply click the big green create a message button. I'm going to use the drag and drop email builder, but one quick note, if you're not on Aweber yet, it's what I recommend for people getting started. I've been on Aweber for years and years and years. It's the simplest, most kind of the greatest deliverability. It's got the highest deliverability rates in the industry. They're the first ones to the game. They are by far the long-standing leaders. They have all the tagging, the automations, the campaign functionalities. What's really cool is they now have 24/7 support. So if you're working in the middle of the night and you can't get it to do something, you simply click on help up here, and then there's a form. They literally have people there, customer support, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready to help you get your email broadcasts, your campaigns, your follow-ups, etc., all out and running for you. Their support is absolutely great. So kudos to them. That's a new update, and I just wanted to share that because I think it's great that they're really offering that 24/7 support. So again, we click on create message here, and then we use the drag and drop email. Now this is kind of like a template builder. This is going to try to get me to write a fancy looking email, but we're going to set this up to send a very basic looking email. I want my email to look just as if I sent it to a friend directly. I don't want it to look like a corporate email with headers and HTML and images, nothing like that. I want this to look just like I'm sending an email to a friend asking them, hey, did you get your treasure map? Because that's what we open, that's what we're used to. So I put my subject up here in top. If you notice, I don't like capitalize the first letter in each word. I'm really trying to make it look like a subject line I would send to a friend. That's always my goal, is to give that feeling of like, oh yeah, my buddy Miles just emailed me, right? That's ultimately my goal. So I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to highlight that and paste it in. Now, when I paste from Notepad, I don't get the exact, I don't really get the exact layout I want. So I got to go add a few line breaks. Cool. At this point, I've got the line breaks, so it'll read really easily. Now you notice I try to use very, very short and punchy sentences. None of my paragraphs are even over 2 lines, right? The longest one is like 1.25 lines. Think about most of your subscribers, they're going to be on mobile, they're busy. Nobody wants to see a block of text that big. We can't read through it. It doesn't work great on phones. I really keep it really short and punchy. I use a lot of ellipses to try to hang those sentences out there, to keep them hung on the word, so it makes it really easy to just read through. The one change I make, I highlight the whole thing, and I want to set the font size to 16 points. Now this makes it super readable inside of mobile. And if you get my daily emails from the milesbeckler.com/free course, which is right here, you'll know for sure that my font is generally large. It's designed to be super readable. This not only helps for if you have kind of an older demographic, but it just helps everyone on the go to consume it really, really quickly. So this is all of the tweak I'm going to do to it, to the actual text. Now I'm going to highlight my actual URL here, and I'm going to click the little link button, and it's going to allow me to put that link in there. Now it's going to be hyperlinked, and you always want to hyperlink your links because some email providers don't actually hyperlink it for you. Gmail's really good at it, but Yahoo's really bad at it. So I just set it up as a link, and now it's actually trackable from Aweber. They're actually able to track this for me. If you want to, this is optional and you don't need to, you can use a little bit of bold to make your emails more scannable. Humans, we are so busy, we have such short attention spans, we often scan things. Now this is a really short email, so I'm not going to use bold in this situation, but if I had a longer email, which I write sometimes to my main list, and you've probably seen them, I use bold to really help them jump from the main idea to the main idea in case they're skimming. I would never put 2 lines bold in before. I generally try to bold just the main key lines like this right here, and I might bold something like this so the I could go from here to here down to the link itself. But again, this one's short. I shoot for 200 words in my emails at a minimum, 200-300 words in my emails at a minimum, but sometimes they get up over 1,000 words, and I'm okay with that. That's just how I roll. You'll find your happy spot for you. Now I want to test it. I need to make sure this actually makes it to my inbox, so I click the preview and test, and it's got my email ready in there already, and I'm going to click send test. And it's sending, now it's sent. So now I jump over to my inbox, and then I refresh my inbox, and I'm gonna give it a quick second. There it is. So now notice I'm in my primary tab here, and it went straight to my primary inbox. If it went to the promotions tab, I would go back in, I would find out what words could potentially, what phrase did I have in there that made Google think this was a promotional email. If you sound like you're promoting something, if you sound like you're giving them strong guarantees and really aggressive calls to action, they're going to throw you in here, and that means that's killing your email marketing. You have to land in the primary folder. Then I open it and I take a quick read, and I want to read through it. I'm double checking my work. And then we do something that's super important. You must do this every single time. We test our links. I hold Control and click on the URL, and then I open it. And I want to make sure it actually opens the video that I wanted it to open. Looks like it's good. And that's it. This is the video, so I'm going to pause it right there. If you haven't seen this video yet, it's actually really quite good, which is why I'm emailing it. And then I'm going to test my second link in here. Make sure it goes to my landing page. I'm running a split test on this. You can see I got variation A, the older one, and I'm going to hinder my own split test because I'm just closing that out, but it worked as I wanted. So one other thing I'm noticing is that my kind of required information down here is really close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one simple line down at the bottom. So I need to go back because this is the preview and test. Here is the actual where I edit the email itself. And you can see I ended this line right at the bottom. There you go. I'm going to remove that hyperlink because it wanted the link. You can see there's the link icon with the X in it. So I'm going to remove that, and it just picked it up because I started typing straight from there. So I said, check it out now. And then I put a line break and a period down here. And that's going to push down my kind of just other stuff lower to where it makes it a little bit more readable. Nothing feels super crowded. I didn't want all that other data touching up against my link here. And I'm done at this point. I think this is great. And I'm going to click down here in the corner. I've got the save and exit link. I'm going to click that. And now it brings me to the screen where I can see all of my past drafts, and I can now send out this email. So if you've got a bunch of old drafts, you'll see them down here. You'll notice this says created 6 minutes ago, and it's got my subject line. So this is the one I want to work with. If you've got a bunch of them down here because you started a couple of drafts and you didn't finish them, you can simply click this box here and then delete them. I'm not going to do that right now, but just to let you know, it's really easy to do. But we're working on this one. I'm ready to send it. So I clicked the send options here, and you can see I can add it to my follow-up series if I want, but I don't. I actually want to schedule a broadcast. So I click on schedule a broadcast, and this is when I get to decide when I want this email to go out. Now, I want this email to go out right now, but if you're trying to set up a few broadcasts to cover you for a weekend, you're going on a camping trip with a family, you're doing a little road trip or something, and you want to queue up an email for Saturday, Sunday, you can go here and you just click the edit when it says, when should this message be sent? You choose the date and you enter the time, right? So I could send it tomorrow morning at, that's the time zone. I could send it tomorrow morning at 7:15 a.m. if I want. And that's it. I would apply this and I would send the message now, but I don't want to do that. As I said, I always try to send my broadcasts immediately. I think it's just a good for the flow for me. It really works, but sometimes when I'm traveling, I do queue up these broadcast emails. So that's good. Then to show you some of the kind of advanced stuff. Now, I'm not going to go into this at this point, but we have the ability to add tags to people if they take certain actions with this email. So if they open this email, I could apply an open tag, and then I could go re-email people who don't have the open tag, right? So if 30% of my people open, that means 70% didn't open. I could go email that 70% segment a different headline, a different subject line, trying to get them to open. Or I could add tags if they click, right? So I could add a tag if they click to my site. I could add a tag if they click to YouTube. And then I could, again, email those who did not click to my site. I could send them another email trying to get them onto my list. That's some advanced stuff. And I honestly don't do very much of that at all. I'm most interested in building the relationship through one handwritten email a day, every day, to really just push that forward. And at this point, I'm done. You don't need the quick stats if you don't want them. I do recommend you track the clicks because we can do that audit that I talked about in the previous video. And then we click send message now. It says, hey, are you sure you want to do that? I click send now, and indeed it's sending it out. And that's it. We have together, in a matter of minutes, created an email with a very focused goal. And we've got that email now sent out to my entire DIY sales funnel video list. You saw the process in action. I think of what's my overall action going to be? I wanted to share a helpful piece of information and remind them about my free course. Cool. I went and grabbed the links for those. Then what's the subject line that's going to pique their curiosity, that's going to get them excited, that's going to get them interested? And then that's what I laid out was the subject line I thought was going to have the best benefit of doing that. And then it's like, how do I answer the question I posed in the subject line? How do I deliver on my promise of the subject line in a way that's going to get them to take action, to remind them of the benefits, to remind them of the challenges that this is going to help them overcome? And at that point, I got my links in, I made sure they're hyperlinkable, and then we tested the email. We send it to ourselves. I prefer testing to a Gmail address. I think Google has the toughest spam filters in the industry, and a lot of your subscribers are going to be on Gmail or Google Mail if they're in another country. And I really think that if you get to Google's primary inbox, you're pretty good through the Yahoos and the AOLs and the other emails and the Hotmails and the Proton mails of the world. So it's kind of my focus. Then we test our links. Always test your link. I've sent big broadcasts with very important sales messaging to actual paid products that had broken links in them, it's no fun. It happens. So please, please, please always test your links. When you confirm that all the links are done, that it looks good, you got the good font size, it looks like an email you would send to a friend, go in, set your broadcast up, send it out, whether it's immediately or in the future, and that's it. Then you are done with your email marketing for the day. It's time to shift back in to create more content, go optimize your conversion points, right? Get more subscribers to your list. And that's the game of growing a business online. That's what I do every day. I send out my emails, I create my new videos like I'm doing here with you, and then I do a little bit of social media marketing, and ultimately I'm just trying to give of myself and be of service to my audience. And when you go forth growing your business, being of service to your audience, helping them accomplish their goals, avoid their fears, avoid their big problems, solve their problems and challenges, you'll be amazed at what you can create. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I've got more email marketing content coming out, so subscribe if you have not already. Leave me a comment if you have a question about this process or about any of the processes. If you're not yet on Aweber, milesbeckler.com/Aweber, you'll get a 30-day free trial. I highly recommend it. I've brought hundreds of thousands of subscribers through Aweber. I've sent millions upon millions upon millions of emails with Aweber. They are the most bulletproof, simple, easy to use system. It is the one I recommend for beginning users. And ultimately, I think you can grow a massive, we made over $1 million email marketing through Aweber. So it's a great system beyond. And on that note, I'm going to call it. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions, get at me in the comment. Give me a thumbs up, engage, share the video, do what you do, anything you want. I appreciate the engagement, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Until then, be well.